I've been using Dinair for 6 months and I love Dinair. My skin has cleared up considerably. I have not had a pimple in 6 months. That's huge for me. I'm able to have flawless skin every single time. The shine that I naturally have on my skin is disappearing as I put it on, and a little bit of this goes a long way. I'm a lot darker here, then I have a lot higher yellow cheekbones, and then a darker forehead. But I've also got pigmentation, discoloration on my cheek and a birthmark. And in order to cover everything, I have to use the highlighters with the yellow base in it. That'll create bubbles which will mix the color for me. I'm just going to gently begin to use the distance, and if you'll notice down on my chin and some of the areas where I seem to have a lot of discoloration, you'll notice in just a couple of seconds as I continue to airbrush that those colors will begin to blend with the yellow that you see on my cheek. And then I'm going to use the remainder on my neck and my chin, and it doesn't rub off on my clothes. Right now, I've noticed that a lot of the blemishes are starting to clear up. So where I had a lot more discoloration in the beginning of the 6 months, now, even though I still have them, but they're clearing up at their own pace. 4 drops of the nutmeg, and I'm going to put in 2 drops of the Egyptian bronze. Basically distance and barely pulling back on the lever, which allows the makeup to spray on dry. Make sure that you're spraying with the lines so that your foundation goes on nice and even. I want to go with the fine lines on my eye. Spray the eyelid. I'm going to pull the eye in the opposite direction and gently pull back on the lever. Don't worry about it getting in your eye because it is water-based.
Really great. And it has totally evened out her whole skin tone.
What I'll do is I'm going to add just a little bit of the Egyptian bronze and just a couple of drops. I'm going to gently spray my entire face to give me back that natural glow of skin color. Highlight my cheekbones, jawline. It makes my face look slimmer and it gives me the appearance of having sharp lines. Just a little bit, and run it down the bridge of my nose, and that'll give my nose a lot longer look. This is a mauve. I'm going to just pour a couple of drops in there. Create a little bit of a smile. When I do my blush, I'm about 4 to 6 inches because I don't want it to be too extreme, and I can always go back over it. That little hint left, I'll use that on my lips. The nice thing about the system is it gives you the ability to create the look you want. So as creative or as standard as you want to look, it's up to you. You can do that. Is I'm going to give myself a little bit of a lip liner line. I'm going to use the mauve again, and I'm going to put in a half a drop of the black. Now I'm going to back bubble a little bit longer with this one. I'm going to turn my system almost completely down because I need to have control of how much makeup is actually coming out of my airbrush. This is the Moist and Dewy, and this comes inside of your kit. And even though I have essentially oily skin and I would not use this on my skin, this makes an amazing lip gloss because what it does is it puts the moisture on your lips. I'm going to use some of the dark brown, and ladies, especially you African American ladies, a lot of times we think, oh, I have to use a black because, you know, that's the only thing that's going to show up. But with airbrush, the colors are pretty true. I turn down my airbrush system just a little bit, and I will use the rest of that to gently just give myself a little bit of covering, and then I'll take just that little bit that's left in there and gently just give myself a little bit of coloring. We're going to take just a teeny bit of the black, and I'm going to use that as an eyeliner. When you're doing the liner, you're going to be a little bit closer than you would if you were doing like a foundation or a blush. And this is how it's done. For going to work, I would have a lot softer look. I would be a lot more conservative with the colors that I've used. If you're wanting something soft, this is how it's done. Thank you.
And you look wonderful.
Thank you.